Bitcoin managed to get the weekly close that we were aiming for, and now we are patiently waiting to get the reaction that we're anticipating in this move. I will show you if there are still some landmines that we need to navigate through, or if it's only up from here. Let's go. Thank you so much for tuning in here on this Monday. I cannot believe that it's already Monday again. So we go directly here into today's content. The Fear and Greed Index is slightly moving here back to the upside into fear territory, which is a potential indication that we were right here over the last couple of days, where I said around the $80,000 mark when we hit that low, that this is marking the local bottom, that we are not going lower than that. When you see the Fear and Greed Index pushing back to the upside after we hit such a substantial low in price, that is usually also an early sign that we are kind of not really safe yet, but we are on the right path in terms of price direction here. When we're looking then at the weekly chart, so here we have yesterday closed around $87,000. I mentioned yesterday how important that is, that we are closing above that level. Then today, by opening a new weekly candle, we saw immediately a small rejection from $88,000 all the way back down to current price levels of $86,200. But we are still technically trading around that really important key level that I pointed out. And also the stochastic RSI is, as expected, here now flatlining and getting ready to pinch it to the upside to give us the buy signal that we want to see here. For that, we need to go back to the weekly open, today's open here, to around $88,000, and then you're gonna see here the proper buy signal come in, and that will put a lot of pressure over the rest of the week or into the following week on Bitcoin to move here back into higher levels. Here you can clearly see why I said that this level yesterday was so important here, and we closed the last weekly candle within the golden ratio. We are now still trading around the lower end of that golden ratio, and the RSI is also finally going here sideways, is still technically oversold. And what I can tell you from past performance when it comes to Bitcoin, we are never staying a long time in so massively extreme oversold conditions. So when we go back here and you look at the similar situation, no, this is bear market territory. We need bull market. Okay, it's not showing here. Ah, yeah, because it's Bybit. That's why it's not showing. If I go like to Bitstamp or something, we would have a little bit more history. So, but I can tell you from the last bull run in 2017, where we were in a similar situation between 16 and 17. From there, we saw a really quick bounce here back to the upside. Here, the only thing that's a little bit concerning for me personally is the EMA ribbon, because we see now the upper string eating into the ribbons, and if this upper string can manage to come all the way down into the bottom, the ribbon will start to twist and to flip into a big downtrend on the weekly chart. So, and this is something that we definitely don't want to see. We need here in the next 2 weeks to see a full reclaim of the upper range of the EMA ribbon, which would be currently at around $105,000, $106,000. So this needs to happen here in the next 2 weeks. Otherwise, we definitely go here still into a prolonged downwards trend, regardless if we are getting here now a short-term relief pump to the upside. Even if we go back to like $100,000, it doesn't matter if we cannot sustain to stay in the price range up here to keep the EMA ribbon in an uptrend and potentially get continuation and expansion of the EMA ribbon back to the upside. On the daily chart here, you see how price is still fighting with this upward sloping trend line. So the day where we are finally closing above this with another green candle, since we have now broken above that level here yesterday, that will mark the moment where we're gonna get then over the following 2-3 days then a continuation pump to the upside, at least to like $91,000, $93,000, somewhere around these numbers, breaking back into this falling wedge pattern. And once we are back in there, you also gonna get then here the breakout to the upside. So, but we are not there yet. We need to see today or tomorrow daily candle close confirming not only that we broke this level, but also that we can hold this level and not getting here rejected over the next 48 hours. On the 4-hourly chart, here we are seeing currently a small rejection from the EMA ribbon. I warned about this, that, yeah, so basically exactly what happened here. I said yesterday we need to come up here into the mid-range of the EMA ribbon at least and stay there. And what happened here over the course of a 12-hour period, we got 3 times rejected from that midsection, and that's why we are rolling over here. The most important level on the 4-hourly chart is around $85,600, $85,700. As long as we are staying above that level, we will get a bounce here and another attempt to break here back into the EMA ribbon. Lose that level, we will go a little bit lower, and then we go back to like 83,600, something like that. But as long as we are staying above here the current price level, we are looking good for getting here another attempt. So why am I insisting so much on that specific level? Because on the MDX Algo Scalp Gradients, also here, you see that this is the exact level where price is currently bouncing off from, and this level was in the past here resistance that just flipped into support. So as long as we are staying above this, you get here another attempt into the weekly open. Once we get above the weekly open, the next target would be then around $88,600, $700. At the same time, we are heating up in terms of the gradients on the price action. So we are currently here in a pinkish red phase. I don't really like how the react indicator is looking, that we're here rolling over a little bit. So that can mean 2 things. Either that we are getting a small sideways consolidation, a really short-lived one, maybe another 20 hours potentially, or that that we are going back to the downside. So if we get here another step back into lower levels, I don't expect this to go all the way back down here to that low, to $80,559, to the golden ratio down here, but into this order block here, into the SPY cluster, to around $83,400, $84,600, forming here the right side of a potential W pattern, and then getting a proper move here past $90,000. So don't be surprised if you see price action coming here a little bit lower again before we go higher. But as long as we are holding here above this order block, we are fine. So that is in the short term what I'm looking at, that this order block is holding. And if it's holding, then we are going to get continuation back above $90,000. And that will be just a further confirmation that this here was actually the local bottom. So here on the 30-minute time frame, I gave you guys yesterday here this trade setup. It did not work out. We got stopped out here, which is fine. It happens from time to time. But I'm still in my Bitcoin trade. Let me show it to you guys. Yeah, so I'm still in it. I'm up way more than I was yesterday. Wait, there. I just want to show it to you guys. So there. So I'm up now 55%. Yesterday I was like 6%, so that is working out quite well for me because I took this trade from $84,000. If you want to trade with me together, guys, don't forget all these trades are given here for free, but I have also trades that I give in a private Telegram group that's also for free. The only thing that you need to do is sign up here on Weex. You get $30,000 if you sign up here. Bind your phone, your email address, and downloading the app gets you immediately $400 for free, and you get an additional $400 if you deposit $500. Just depositing, not trading with it, just depositing $500. That makes a total of $800 for free. And when you do that, you get access to my private Telegram group where we are still killing it while the market is doing whatever the market is doing. You know, and we find not every day, but every other day, we find the only runners in the market and then take an advantage of that. So everything is described in the description, and also how to reach us. And otherwise, send an email to info@amcrypto.us or write us on Twitter, amcryptoalex. And I need to point out here something else. First of all, if you cannot use Weex, use Tapbit. And something else really important, because it happened today, there is no other Telegram account than my personal account. Doesn't matter if you have Telegram Premium, not Premium. There's no other account going around from me personally, because somebody almost got scammed by somebody impersonating me saying, oh yeah, I have like this account because you so many people don't have Telegram Premium, so they cannot text me. No, you have Telegram Premium or you don't, you know, so you can only text me if you have Premium. There's no other account, you know. So if you actually find my account, my real account, first of all, I've never messaged you ever first, and I will never ask you for money. That's the other thing. Or tell you something like, hey, invest here, you know, so I'm gonna trade for you if you send money like to me, you know, so I'm gonna double it, whatever. It's never me, guys, never. And I don't do that, you know. So and best is you always go and verify, you know, write an email to info@amcrypto.us, ask if that's really my account, you know, so, or reach out to my actual account on Telegram and ask if you have Telegram Premium, you know, or write me on Twitter, wherever you want, you know, just double check. Don't send money to scammers. Don't be that stupid, guys, you know, especially if it's just $100, $200. I don't ask for like peasant amounts, you know. That's not what I do. It's like, it's nothing, you know, especially if the scammer is promising they're doubling it, tripling it, or doing whatever with that money. So let's go back here to the content. On the liquidation levels, we have some over leveraged long liquidity currently below us, and this is putting a little bit fuel to the fire, what I mentioned just a second ago, and that we could come back down here to like $83,000 approximately to take here the over leveraged long liquidity, and then you get here that move to the upside, especially since we are seeing here a little bit of a rollover, which makes me also believe that we could see a small step, and then you get here a proper move to the upside. So when we're looking at the liquidation heat map, let's see what's going on here. Yeah, so also here we have now a little bit liquidity built up below us, but the majority is of course still above us. So, but because it's so obvious that we need to go here to the upside rather sooner than later, in my mind opens up even more the possibility that you're going to see here that small last shakeout that will be really short-lived and quick, and then they actually turn it around, because the majority of the market, when we are seeing now here this move to the potentially a move here again below $85,000, they are like, oh no, this is gonna continue now, you know, it's gonna take out the low that we put in at $80,000, and then we just keep going lower. So, and yeah, again, this is a playbook that I've seen many times before, and I'm not buying it, you know, so especially when all the liquidity is sitting here above us. On the USDT dominance, so we finally are below the 6.5% level, and seeing here lower highs now consecutively over the last 3 days. So here I don't want to see here a lot of green candles over the next coming days. I want to see proper fat big red candles going down here to like 5.2%, and then starting to break this upward sloping trend line finally. So, but the imminent level that we need to watch is 5.9. So that will be already a really big step forward if we break that, because that will put Bitcoin at around $93,000 to $98,000 approximately. And that's what I'm watching currently. So when we're looking at the dominance, the Bitcoin dominance is struggling to break here below 59%, but I have shown you multiple times why this is such a hard level for the dominance to get below that, because once we're getting below that, you're going to get the big expansion to the downside, and we will not come above this level anymore for at least like 2-3 months. And during these 2-3 months, you're going to see a proper altcoin season. It could be also way more extended. Let's actually have a look. How long did we stay the last time below that, when we had a proper altcoin run here? There. So for how long? Oh wow, yeah. So that was a crazy time. Look here. Here from April 21. Whoa, now I have to move this away. April 21. Yeah, so that was crazy. So here, April to 21 to October 2024. So of course, in that time we had a bear market and whatnot, you know. So and we should more look at where the dominance bottomed, and that was like kind of here. So yeah, it was 1.5 years, 1.5 years before the dominance started to properly go back here into an up grind to the upside. So I'm not saying that like in this 1.5 year we will have like 1.5 years of altcoin season. That's not what's gonna happen here. But here just to move down to the bottom of it took a month. From breaking here all the way down there, yeah, 6 weeks. 6 weeks of like crazy downwards movement in the dominance. So I think this time it will be not that aggressive, that move to the downside. It will be more gradual because we have liquidity, too much thin spread across like the million coins that are in the market. And that's why I think it will be more like a gradual move, something like this. In between, you're going to get some nice steps to the downside, but then like gradual. And that will then lead to that we're not looking at a 6-week period and more like at a 2-month to 5-month period where we're going to see then altcoins putting in massive runs. Total free market cap looks also not that bad today here. So we got here our Morningstar pattern that I was talking about, but we got also rejected from $856 billion. So here you want to see that we are hopefully can close above this level or by tomorrow, because that will give us the signal to move here to the downward sloping trend line, potentially breaking it and getting a continuation move. Any rejection from this downward sloping trend line here will lead to another leg to the downside. But also here, I don't believe that we go below $808 billion, which was the low here. Just putting in a higher low, and then we are off to the races. So, and something else that I also just want to mention here again really quickly, guys. Where did I have this? I want to show it to you guys. There. So my waitlist is still open. So the new program that I'm launching, guys, is launching on the 1st of December. So if you want to take your trading to the next step and you're serious about this, then fill out the waitlist. And then my team will go through it and see if you're a good fit for the program or not. Again, it's not for free, you know, so just that you're aware of that, it's not for free. But I take only a limited amount of people that I want to work with. There will be also case studies. I have already everything recorded, you know, so with proof and everything that they all made money in the last year. They are coming out, I think, like end of this week. So there you can have a look for yourself how my students are performing. Yeah, if you want to take trading serious and you want to learn from somebody that actually knows what he's talking about and is making a living of it, then fill out the wait list, and then my team will reach out to you when we are actually launching on the 1st of December. So now let's have a look here at Ethereum. Our Ethereum trade is still doing well. And just that you know, the link is on top of the description of the video. So Ethereum is doing, our trade is not doing that bad. I would still have currently my stop loss at around break even, just in case that we get stopped out and put in here a higher low, because that gives the opportunity to just trade the bounce then from that low, from this higher low back here. Yeah, so for this I would be watching $2,780. If we lose $2,780, we come back here into the small range, then yeah, chances are high that we actually go a little bit below our original entry. We will not get stopped out, but we will go below our average entry. And before we're going to get here, then I'd move to the upside. So, and you don't want to have money tied up and waiting for this here to turning around. And that's why I'm telling you, rather set a stop loss slightly above your entry price, and that you at least don't lose money on the fees, and actually walk out of this trade with like net zero, and then you just wait until it comes back up, and then you enter again, and then you ride that, because otherwise you're losing something called opportunity cost, you know. So, and you don't want to have opportunity cost. Here with Solana, so Solana broke initially out of that bear pattern to the upside, but now it looks like, unless we're reclaiming $130, that the breakout was a fake out as we are rolling over here. So we are holding on to now a new established support level that is around here at $128. Lose $128, and we will also here put in a higher low before we reverse back to the upside. So that's why I said I'm really careful with this. and I'm currently not in a leveraged position on Solana. I have a spot position on Solana, but on a leveraged position, I'm currently not in it unless we are breaking here $130. And I see the stochastic slightly turning around, at least on the 30 minutes time frame. Let's see currently. Yeah, not a fan of how the stochastic is looking here, and also the, let me see, you cannot see it, so I have to move this up a little bit. So there you go. So yeah, the way that this is coming up here is something that I don't like, the way that this looks here. And the RSI is going sideways in that range, and this is simply because we are here ranging right now. And price cannot decide, should we go down, should we go up? So, and as long as we are in that range, I'm not interested to trade Solana in a leverage position. So like I said, $130, yes, I'm in it. Trade this here, 142, 155, something like this. So if we lose 128, then I just wait and see where it settles and forms somewhat of a small bottom here. And it can be a W formation, it can be a morning star pattern, something like this here. It could be a tweezer bottom, so where I see something like this. My drawing skills are impeccable as usual. So here, where I see something like this, two candles like that. So I'm waiting then for a reversal signal to enter this and trade then the continuation to the upside. But I'm not looking for shorts here, definitely not, because the risk to reward on a short right now, if you did not short from at least like somewhere around the $105,000 mark, is yeah, it's way too risky to do this right now, to try to short here anything. Not interested in looking at shorts. So that's why it makes way more sense right now to start looking at longs and to find the right levels from where you can execute them. So let me have a quick look here, potentially in the chat, what's happening over here. Oh, this cycle is so different compared to the last one, because first, let me explain it this way. So let's have a quick chat about this before I'm leaving. So in the last cycle, first of all, the last cycle was fueled by stimulus checks and quantitative easing. That was what ignited the last bull run after the COVID crash in 2020, because only afterwards, and let me maybe show you that here. I want to try and find quick a Bitcoin chart where I can show that. Oh, this is actually a good chart for that. So here the weekly chart on Bitstamp. So let's go back here to 2021 and 2020. So here you're going to see now why I'm always saying I saw something similar happening at around December 2020, what we're experiencing right now, where you have like the feeling, oh, this is looking like a good trade, and then you get into the trade and you get fucked, because the market was basically untradeable. But you had like these small flashes left, right, and center from time to time where we were like, oh no, this is actually looking good, and then it turned against you and you got screwed in these trades. So here, August, September. So because, for example, here, there, in 2020 in November, so here, yeah, it was basically, oh wait, this is, no, it's a weekly chart, so that's the issue. Okay, so here, that week of the 7th of December here, and here, the week before that was where I got heavily rinsed in that area, because now you think, oh, this is a nice week here, so a lot of buy pressure came in here and here too in these 2 weeks. So but the problem was the market was going up and down like a yo-yo, you know. So and it was almost impossible to trade this. I lost so much money in these 3 weeks. I lost like $500,000 or something like that. It was insane. So I know, of course, not in one trade, you know, it was multiple trades, because I tried to trade the chop, you know. So and then like in the basically here in that candle, that was where I had my biggest loss of like $200,000, I think, in a span of like a week. So and that was where I was like, okay, now I sit on my hands, you know, until next year. I'm not doing anything anymore. I'm gonna enjoy Christmas, and I'm not doing anything anymore for this year, and I look what's happening next year. So then next year came, and we started off here with a nice big push to the upside, and then where I was like, okay, now that looks different. You know, we had here now 2 weeks, for basically a month of pump to the upside. It's like, that looks now way better. And then the following week, that was here. No, that was here, like around the 18th. I have to look up the date again. I think it was 23rd of January or 22nd of January when I bought Pancake Swap. So that was like kind of here in between these two candles where I bought this. So, and as you can see here, on that whole run up, I basically bought the bottom on many altcoins here. So, and I feel right now that we are again in this fucked up area here of 2020 going into 2021, and that's why people are doubting right now that there will be an altcoin season, another top for Bitcoin, continuation to the upside, because it was the same thing there. Everybody was like, we should start running right now, and we didn't, you know, and we got like this crazy chop up and down all the time, and nobody knew what's going on. You know, you could try so many different strategies to try to make money, at least the ones that I knew, and nothing was working anymore, you know. So what before turned out to be 1 + 1 is 2 was like 1 + 1 is 7, and you were like, what's going on? Doesn't make sense, you know. It was working for like 3 years, and now in that period it did not work anymore. And that was like, okay, here's something wrong. Tried to figure it out, could not figure it out, and I was like, okay, now I sit on my hands. You know, I have no clue what's going on in the market. Because the market was untradeable for me. I was like, maybe I'm not the only one. And I heard from a lot of other people during that time that they're experiencing the same thing, even though I had not a YouTube channel, but I had a community at the time. And then I was like, okay, everybody's losing money right now, so I sit on my hands, don't do anything. And this is more or less the approach that I have right now. The only difference is it came again way too late, you know, way too late. Actually later than here in that whole area. So, but you see what happens, what happened afterwards. The only difference is between the last cycle and this cycle, we have technically already put in here one of the cycle tops. So here you had a double top. I think also that we're going to get a double top on the macro time frame. So, and if you go then, and you would lay this over, then you would say right now we are kind of like here in this area. So, but at least for Bitcoin. So, but in the overall cycle, we are here. If that makes sense. So, and that's why I'm not worried what's happening here right now. Not at all. So I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting to see that I get the confirmation that we're actually here in this fucked up area of 2020 going into 2021. And getting then that massive continuation move. So, and also something else that's different here right now is that we're actually trading below the 75 moving average here, weekly moving average, which was last time also not the case. So, but we have seen this in the past where we almost went below that and just came back up here. So that will be the biggest indication of a continuation move of this cycle when we see a reclaim of this indicator up here. So let me see here. Yeah, so, and that's basically it for today's video here, guys. I gonna go again. I have a lot of other things to do. Also in preparation of that launch date that I have. Again, you sign up to the waitlist, guys. You're not gonna regret it. 1st of December is when we're launching. Don't forget, smash up the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and see you with more money tomorrow.